The salt-laced wind whipped Ilara's hair across her face. The lighthouse loomed above her, a crooked silhouette against the bruised sky. It was a skeletal finger pointing towards the churning sea. A shiver danced down her spine. It wasn't just the cold. She pushed open the heavy, iron-wrought gate, its hinges groaning like a mournful cry. Sand rasped beneath her feet, the only sound louder than the relentless roar of the ocean. Each step towards the lighthouse felt heavier than the last, as if she were walking against an invisible tide. The air grew thick with the smell of salt and something else, something old and faintly metallic. Ilara clutched the worn leather journal in her hand, her grandmother's journal. It spoke of a secret hidden within the lighthouse walls, a truth buried for generations, a truth Ilara was determined to uncover. She traced the faded ink with her fingers. Each word was a whisper from the past, beckoning her deeper into the heart of the lighthouse. The musty air hung heavy, filled with the ghosts of memories and secrets long forgotten. The only light came from the flickering lantern in her hand, casting dancing shadows that seemed to writhe and coil with a life of their own. Wooden steps groaned under her weight as she ascended the spiral staircase. Each turn brought her closer to the lantern room, closer to the truth she sought. The air grew colder, the darkness more oppressive. Cobwebs brushed her face like ghostly fingers, each touch sending shivers down her spine. The lantern room was a circular chamber, dominated by a massive dormant lens. Dust motes danced in the weak beam of her lantern, swirling like fireflies in the gloom. The sea stretched out before her, a raging beast contained only by the brittle stone walls of the lighthouse. It was then that she saw it tucked beneath a loose floorboard, a tarnished silver key. The key was cold in her palm, heavier than it looked, intricately carved with strange symbols. It seemed to hum with a power that sent shivers down her spine. As her fingers closed around it, she heard it. A whisper carried on the wind. It was faint, almost lost against the roar of the storm, but unmistakable. "Find me." Ilara spun around, her heart pounding against her ribs. The lantern light flickered, casting grotesque shapes on the walls, but she was no longer alone. A presence filled the room, cold and watchful. The key pulsed in her hand, and Ilara knew this was only the beginning.